Good morning, everyone. Not only are we easing into our day this morning, we're easing into our week. Monday, June the 15th. One cup of coffee down, 2 cups to go. Khadijah, I think you're first. I had to turn my voice back on. I spent the last hour not talking. Frank, hey, buddy. Frank, if you're not working, you want to come up on the panel for a couple of minutes? If you're not working, I know you get out early and you're actually doing stuff. Khadijah, 62 degrees here this morning. Oh, it feels so good after those. I think we had 4 days in a row that we were 95 or above. I had somebody that I know, they fell again. They're in the hospital, so prayers, please. They had fallen and broken their shoulder, and don't you know, when they fell this time, they fell on the same side. So if you guys would say a prayer, I'd appreciate it. And for the next 2 days, it's going to be fantastic here. And then we get back to the 90s. But as everybody learns, Khadijah, here in North Carolina, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. It'll change. And YouTube is still playing its games about not giving notifications. I got a notification last night from somebody that I had not received in a long time, and I'll be doggone. Uh, they were having medical issues, but they had their spirits high. and Princess Joy-Ax, Ruth, Frank on Morning Coffee. We don't do cameras unless you just want to. Uh, I'm not going on camera at this time of day because all I'm going to do is put on a pair of short pants and slippers and enjoy being cool for a little while. Yeah, Khadijah, you might get some rain today. Uh, I watched the weather report this morning, and it looks like over the next day or so, there's going to be the front's going to be between me and you, Khadijah, and the south side of the front is going to get a little bit of rain, which that'll be you and some other people I know further south. I'm trying to find an old picture of Treezilla so that I can post it next to a current picture so everybody can see what a chunk the storm took out. Oh, I didn't like the sound of that. I might should go check on that. Top off my cup of coffee. Well, it was a pleasant 62 on the back porch. Now, less than an hour later, it's 68. Let's see here. This day in music history. You guys probably may have already read the scroll across the bottom, but June 15th, 1991, Paula Abdul hits #1 on the charts with the ballad Rush Rush. And that was her fifth big hit. Uh, in the music video was Keanu Reeves, believe that. And in 1949, on this day, Russell Hitchcock, the lead singer of Air Supply, was born, and he's from Melbourne, Australia. Boy, he can sing those high notes, that's for sure. Frank, that's okay. Just wanted to give you the opportunity if you wanted. Uh, and you know you're always welcome. And everybody, if you want to share your channel, exclamation ME, no spaces, and Nightbot will post your channel. I know, Frank. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you do it, but you take all of those songs and you make them your own. You just do a very good job. Well, that's not fair, Khadijah. You're not supposed to be cooler than me. Khadijah, you're supposed to be a couple of degrees warmer than it is up here. There you go, Frank. Show them how it's done. Frank sings and plays guitar, or he plays guitar and sings. He is the lead singer for Air Supply. He is still hitting those high notes. I saw a video of him that's just a few months old, and he's up there. If I remember correctly, he had totally white hair, and he was just killing it. I mean, he knocked it out of the park. And Frank, give Maggie a hug for us. Maggie is Frank's adorable little puppy. We always take care of. So, how's everybody doing out there? How's your Monday morning starting out? You guys enjoyed the music, this day in music history? You guys enjoy that scroll being on the screen? I like feedback. Frank, do you ever play anything from YouTube while you're doing your job? Have you had anybody make comments if you do? I think some of your guitar playing, you know, at least in the background, would be a plus. And it'd be kind of neat if, when they say, who's that playing? What station is that? And you get to say, oh, that's me. John P. Good afternoon, sir. I tell you, John P., your little one was enjoying that ride too much. They're going to be a race car driver. John posted a short video yesterday, I think it was, and he put his youngest in. It was a kiddie ride, but that little one went crazy with the steering wheel. I mean, you would have thought she was already driving the back roads. Wow, that's expensive, John. Mike, good morning. Thanks for stopping in today. I know, Mike, it's tough to make it to everybody's live. There's several people that I go to their channel, they're live right now. And I know everybody these days are super busy. So that just makes it all the more special that you guys choose to spend time here. We're easing into our Monday, and we're easing into the start of the week, except for Mike. He's racing thunderstorms. Mike, I was listening to an album of Wasp sounds, and I put it on, started playing, and I thought, this doesn't sound anything like Wasp, at least not the Wasp around here. So I checked the album cover, and I had made a mistake. I had put the record on the B side. Feel free to tell that joke to Allie Mack. He'll get a kick out of it, and maybe YKB. Val, good morning. Of course, people who are probably under 40 years old wouldn't even understand that joke now that I think about it. You guys hold down the fort. I'll be back in a minute. I think I might be pouring my last cup of coffee out of that pot. Exactly, Mike. Good one. Yeah, we've got a storm front moving through the middle and southern part of North Carolina. I'm just glad to get 2 days of relief from the heat. There we go. As hard as that wind's blowing, it should be activating the wind chime. YKB. Good afternoon, sir. Hope you're having a great Monday. YKB, I appreciate that you're listening to what's going on. Ah, Mike, it's all yours, brother. I am not I'm just not really a lobster person. I was up in Boston for a few weeks, and the locals said, "Man, the lobster season is here. We've got the best catches that we've had in years, and it's so tasty." And I went over to one guy's house, and he found out I'd never had lobster, and he said, "Well, we're going to have some," and he fixed it like 3 different ways, which pretty much there's only one way to cook it, and then he had 3 different dips or whatever. And I don't care what you put on it or how it was prepared. It was like going down to the ocean, dipping a glass into the ocean and taking a sip. That's what it tasted like to me. And everybody was just raving over it, but not me. Uh, I vaguely remember somebody mentioning it, but most of the time when sandwich comes up, I think of the Earl of Sandwich. Oh gosh, YKB. So is that what Kathy is thinking about all the time? The ocean? I'm surprised she doesn't live on the coast instead of in the middle of the country or almost middle. She's got a mountain range between her and the ocean. Either way she goes. Yeah, no, I don't care to. I've had enough of those. I don't need any more. In the younger days, uh, I was just kind of had a reputation for driving crazy. I had a couple of people. I'm trying to be careful and not give out too much information here. I had a couple of people that had ridden with me in a car, and when we stopped and they got out, they swore they would never get in the car again with me driving. And one day I passed one of those people on the side of the road, pouring down the rain, and poor guy was getting drenched. I said, "Come on, man, I'll give you a ride to your house." Nope, would not get in the car. Wow. It would, I mean, shaped like the Millennium Falcon is humorous, but if it had been shaped like Battlestar Galactica, that would have been even funnier. There's a, oh, geez, I think it's in the Mediterranean. There's a sonar image of the bottom of the ocean there, and something's on the bottom shaped like the Millennium Falcon. There's this little town in Virginia. A friend of mine used to live there. And if you went 1 mile an hour over the speed limit in town, and I mean the speed limit was 20, if you went 1 mile an hour over the speed limit, they would give you a ticket. YKB, I'm glad to see that you keep up with that stuff. I've been interested in UFOs since I was a kid. WTF, Mike? I get your just gist. I found the mermaid gnome home. I didn't have one for this past Friday. Mike will get a kick out of this. I might have already told him, but I don't think YKB knows. Uh, we live in an area, especially further into the mountains, where people would do late night deliveries of a high volume of alcohol content liquid. So the local police had to deal with a lot of hot rodders. So little town called Mount Airy. In order to be able to chase uh, the hot rodders, they got a Ford Pinto and modified it to have a 351 placed in it. So that, and they only had it for a couple of years in the 70s because it turned out to be totally, it was only good for one thing. So, but the city police car was a Ford Pinto with a 351. Roger Blair, good morning. Roger, you got any video of that bear yet? I'm looking forward to seeing bear videos from Roger. I believe that, Mike. The place I worked for a long time, those were the people they usually put me with because they knew I wouldn't let them get away with it. You know, I might adopt that, Mike, and just start calling them ML. And when they ask what's ML stand for, I'll say the motion light thing. Mm. Well, it's cool this morning. I haven't been on the mountain in 10 days. I've been, it's just been too hot. And I usually try to go once a week, so I'm past due. I'm going to try to do that after today's live. If I have a cell phone signal, I'll go live while I'm up there. Oh, that's like the showers, vicinity, temperature 65, east. Huh? Yeah, it was 62 this morning here, Mike, and it's already 70. %, humidity. Oh my goodness. Mike's going to show us what cool weather really is. Exclamation, Mike. 60%. Ugh. And for our friends over on the Rumble channel, Nightbot has not uh, yet worked out a way for these functions to work there. So sorry. See what I mean, Mike, about the humidity in our mountains? 82%. Oh, and YKB, that was a nice walk you did. Little flat, but ending up in that little community, it looked really, really nice. Quiet. I like quiet. Oh, that was kind of a slow moving bike. Still, it was a nice area. Yeah, I was in a more populated area in South Carolina, but it was quieter. Still, YKB, it was a nice trip. Yeah, YKB, you're not old. I was listening to a program, and this guy was talking. He said that we are getting close to learning enough about DNA that they should be able to pretty much stop the aging process. Were you doing a 15K or a 15 mile? If you were doing 15K, that was good. If you're doing 15 miles, that's really good. Yeah, I've got a Schwinn from back in the day when it was still made by Schwinn. One of the last years they did it. It's a mountain bike, and I don't ride it enough. Good job, YKB. Um, I calculated I put one of those step counters on when I mowed the yard, and I did the calculations, and I pushed the mower to mow the complete yard. It's just about 7 miles. You know, when doing those calculations, you can't be but so accurate. But I would say it's at least 6 miles pushing, maybe a little over seven. I don't know, but and then I try to hike between 4 and 8 miles on the mountain each week. Well, I don't know. Most of the people I know, Mike, it's not they don't want stem cell research. They don't want the research source material. And I got to be careful how I say this on YouTube. They don't want the resource source material to be embryonic humans, which is the easiest source to get those stem cells from. But you can get them from adults, and they use that therapy with people now. They will take adult stem cells and they will apply them to major wounds, and the wounds heal much quicker. So, like I say, Mike, I think it has more to do with the source material than the act of doing it itself. And pretty much a stem cell, all it is a cell that does not know what it wants to be when it grows up. So if you put it on your hand, it'll become a cell that's normal for the hand. The biggest thing is the ends of the DNA, the telomeres. If they can find a way to stop or repair the degradation in telomeres, that would help a lot. And a telomere is pretty much the same thing as the tassel on a shoestring. It just protects the string and keeps it from fraying and stuff like that. And with all that said, everyone remember this show is for entertainment purposes only. Hopefully, we're getting people relaxed and easing into their day, enjoying a little bit of nature sound and coffee. If you're on the other side of our world, you're just tapering off at the end of your day. Your mileage may vary. I'm in North Carolina. YKB is across the pond, and you're somewhere in North Dakota. Mike. I think it was Mike that pointed out that it was bagpipes in AC/DC song, and it sounded pretty good there. And I don't know what it is about the song Amazing Grace, but when it's done on bagpipes, it sounds really good. And most anybody can sing it except for me. There went a bird. Oh, YKB, did you ever figure out why your volume was so low on Friday's live? Hey, everybody that's listening, I got a question and I hope you'll answer. If you have a lucky number, what is your lucky number? Oh, okay. $32 and 4. And you know, YKB, thanks for typing in that because I never knew what to type to represent the sound of bagpipes. Val's lucky number 7. 13 became my lucky number when I was in the 13th class to graduate from the high school I attended. We had a lot of snow the winter before graduation. And so graduation got pushed out to June the 13th. And I ended up in the 13th chair. So, Mike, uh, I know that this is a strong possibility that you know this bit of trivia. Why do they yell for? Why not something else? Oh, cool. Okay. It's like heads up. Uh, if something's falling down at you, and somebody yells heads up, first thing you do is you look up, and then you get smacked in the face instead of just the top of the head. I don't know the answers to these things. I just put the questions out there. And to quote George Carlin, why is it we park in driveways and drive on parkways? Uh, YKB, that's the best reason I've heard so far. Nikki, what's happening, young lady? Nikki, are you going to come up and talk to us for a couple of minutes? Can you do that? And thank you for letting me know about Gavin, because I wouldn't have ever found him. Nikki is our island girl. She lives on an island out in the Atlantic. And she lets us see what nightlife is in other parts of the world. Oh, I'm doing good. I'm vertical and above ground. That's as good as it gets when you're my age. Mike, you'll be pleased to know that Nikki's favorite place to shop is Lidl's. Oh, okay, Nikki. Mike has family that's with Aldi's. Yes. Yeah, I would never see that island if it wasn't for Nikki. We have both Lidl's and Aldi's here, and I like shopping at both. They both have their good points. Nikki, do you have a Costco and Sam's Club on the island? Yeah, I never thought to ask you that before. And if you're getting ready to go to work, you work second shift. I didn't know that, or split shift. And I was I thought I had done that, but I wasn't sure. Nikki, it had been so long since I had created that command for Nightbot, I'd forgot I wasn't sure that I had done it. Let's put it that way. Yeah, Sam's Club is pretty much Walmart. Hey, I appreciate you, Nikki. I really do. And I know how busy you are, and you're doing your own thing on YouTube. So, you know, I appreciate you coming in to chat for a while. I've got so many Nightbot commands now, I have to refresh my memory. Yes, ma'am. Nikki, I've known you at least a year, maybe a little longer. Oh, listen, uh, I am so lucky to have so many good people come into chat here. That, you know, I don't think I've had to block but maybe one or two people in 3 years on the Nature Channel, and I've not had to block anybody here. But that's because a good portion of the people here came from the Nature Channel. Y Hola por tu esposa. I hope I said that right. Well, I try to be. I get fooled by people every now and then, but eventually the truth comes out and I just leave them alone. But like I tell people, I'm only nice to nice people. Don't don't get the wrong idea. I don't claim to be no saint. Uh, People at my bank found that out a few weeks ago. Well, stop working in the middle of the show. Oh, mm, oh, okay. I don't see Craig. What a dump. Well, hello, Craig. For some reason, you didn't show up in chat, but I don't do drama. You know, there's enough drama in this world we got to put up with, and we have no control over it. Why on earth would you invite drama into something that's supposed to be relaxing and fun? Somebody I used to know, they put it like this: why would you want to borrow trouble? I don't know. Say hi to Craig. He's just popped on. Maybe he's live. I'm full up here. I don't have any way to go to any other channels right now. But tell Craig hello. Okay, there you go. Khadijah. I was hoping Nikki would come up and let us hear her accent. She's British, but she's living on an island that I'm pretty sure they speak Spanish. I have to be careful because to me, Portugal sounds like Spanish. Khadijah, you getting rain yet? Khadijah in the kitchen. Ah, I'll be hungry now. Oh, that's good, Khadijah. As long as it doesn't get too hot. I don't need to be crunching my breakfast bar here. Oh no, Khadijah. At least it's past 8 o'clock. It's like when my neighbor he'll start mowing at 6:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. Come on. Mike. It's a little brutal there, Mike. Oh, Mike, I used to work for a Japanese a company, and when the some of the people came over from Japan to tour the plant and make sure everything was going well, I would talk to them about this, that, and the other, and there was a few of them that asked the question, "How do you feel about America dropping the bomb on Japan?" And I always answered them probably the same way you feel about that sneak attack on Hawaii. And then they just quietly go away. Yeah, Whoever wins usually writes history also. Sometimes they write it correctly, sometimes not. It's like a certain direction on the compass wanted people to believe they fought a war to free people, whereas it was actually the revolt was started by taxes. YKB, that's a good one. Oh man. Oh, look at that wind blow. And the wind chime is quiet. The sad truth of it is we all need to be praying for the UK. They going through some tough times right now. Glad that people are able to keep their sense of humor going through all this mess. We had a plane full of skydivers crash yesterday. Place I used to live in South Carolina, somebody used a pew pew at the mall. Crazy days all around. That's probably true, YKB. That's probably true. Scotland is still a place to where if I could travel overseas, I'd probably still Scotland. No, it took off. It took off. It started to turn. The locals said if you to avoid the falling towers nearby, it straight. There was 11 skydivers on it, and a couple of them were tandem, which means it's probably their first time. Uh, I don't know if they're going to count that as a skydiving accident or a plane accident, but statistically, you're more likely to die from a bee sting. At least when I was skydiving, that was the numbers. More people were unalived by a bee sting in 1 year in the early 80s than in the entire history of skydiving, was the way they put it. Oh no, I can't be breaking up. I need to stay together. Thanks for telling me that, Roger. I might just be talking too loud and overpowering the microphone. Well, you can't you can't jump too low because if you don't have uh, enough speed, the parachute won't open. And if the plane just took off and it went to turn like that, they probably didn't have time to react. And as usual, thanks, Mike. As usual, it'll be 3 or 4 days before anything comes out in the news that we can really trust it to be correct. Yeah, I don't care what they say. My internet has been dropping out. It's been a few weeks now. It's not as bad now as before, but it still does that. But I grew up watching movies like Sky King, listen to TV shows. They were in reruns when I watched them, but Sky King and Ripcord. I used to really enjoy those TV shows. So, Mike, did you beat the weather or did it beat you? Not to my knowledge. There might be some a little further south around here. There's a front coming through, and uh, I'm north of the front, and Khadijah is closer to her than to me. But this morning's weather didn't say anything about storms like that. They just said we'll be a little cooler and the air will be a little bit drier. Well, I'm glad you're winning that race. Huh. I like I said, the weather this morning, maybe something's changed because I watched the weather at like quarter till 5. And once I saw the forecast for today and tomorrow, I don't care to watch the other junk. But I like to know what, like, where everybody in chat is located. I like to know what the weather is for them, because I hope they have a good weather day. Well, I'm a good ways from the coast, so down toward the coast might be having it. Hmm. Uh, we needed the rain. I think you keep a better eye on the weather than I do. I try not. I try not to let my grass get that high before I mow it, but I guess you do it for feeding the cows. Speaking of younger sister and whatnot, did your niece ever come back and visit you? Well, Mike, you gotta fess up to doing a little bit of that spoiling. Because you were doing real good helping with the speaker box. And most people don't realize how much effort it takes to build a speaker that functions properly because the reactance at different frequencies changes the resistance of the speaker. Wow, Roger, that is cool. uh, Sad to say, but most of the time, if my relatives call, it's because they want something, and that's about it. Yeah, that happens. As soon as I find a old picture of Treezilla, I'm going to post that and let everybody see that the storm took a big bite out of Treezilla's rear end too. Oh, that's cool. I like those. Well, sounds like the trash men are picking up the trash. I think the Bantams are a little bit on the smaller side as far as the size of chickens, and they tend to have attitude. At least that's what I remember from way back when. Maybe Roger will tell us if I'm right or wrong. Well, I hope they're taking good care of them. They could get an anonymous phone call, telling them to take care of their chickens from a strange voice that they've never heard. Mike, in about a week, I will have been doing the music channel for 6 months. And speaking of chickens, I've been seeing wild turkeys out in a couple of fields near here and on my way over to the mountain. That's a nice little boat. Did you get the parts for that motor? And I don't think I've ever seen a Suzuki motor on a boat. Isn't it funny how that works, Mike? Sometimes you just gotta have something after you get it. Well, I didn't quite need it that bad. There's nothing else you can substitute in for that, Mike. And by tilt and trim, I guess you're talking about the however you maneuver the propeller in and around in the water, or move the motor to control that. Because I'm not a boat person. Ah, okay. See, all the little boats I've ever seen, they have a throttle uh, and control, and you just do everything manual. But those are pretty small boats. Yeah. I used to. There's a lake down in High Point. They used to have boat races on, drag races. I used to enjoy going to those. I used to drive the boat for people. That way they could fish or drink or whatever. I was the designated driver. Oh, okay, Mike. I'm so busy on YouTube, I hardly watch TV. There's a few shows on that's worth my time, but most everything I watch is a rerun. It's like I turned on the news long enough this morning to catch the local weather forecast and just to verify that the app on the phone is close to what it's going to be. I like the thing about boat drag racing is the technology they have to use to keep the boat on the water because they're going so fast. They got to keep that balance of being out of the water but not airborne. Here we are, 2 hours past again. You guys, I appreciate every one of you, and you make my morning so much better. I enjoy coffee even more with you guys. I hope the rest of your day goes very well, smooth, no speed bumps, no pedestrians jumping out in front of you, nothing silly like that. I hope only kind words come your way, and I will catch everyone next time.